anyone in a relationship knows there can be bad days once in a while.
Yeah, Twin Cities marriage therapist is working to keep couples together. One of the ways she's doing this is by sharing videos on TikTok. One of her videos focuses on the difference of active and passive responsibility. Let's watch it.
This is one of the top things that I hear from women as a complaint, saying that their husbands are waiting for them to tell them what needs to be done. And they're really looking for a partner in life who is actively responsible for the house and for the children, and not waiting for their wife to tell them what to do.
Wow, that's Corinne the Counselor, TikTok, where she gets millions of views for sharing simple advice and things that she's experienced. Marriage therapist Corinne Voller joins us now to talk about that and deep dive a little bit more. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So you have been a therapist for about 5 years or so?
Yes.
This type of therapy?
This type of therapy, yes.
When did you decide to go to TikTok, and how did that come to be?
Just like everyone else during the pandemic, I was like, what is this thing? And started making videos, at first really nervous, and then after a while the response of people saying like, this is exactly what's happening in my relationship, makes you kind of want to just keep showing up and telling them like, hey, this is the language, this is what's going on, and I think it's a great way for people to connect.
Sure. What was the first piece of advice that you felt like it really like took off and you were like, oh, this is something?
You know, this one on passive and active responsibility, I've had so many people reach out and they're like, that's exactly what I've been trying to say, but it's complicated, right?
Yeah.
And so this kind of really just wraps it up in a nice little bow of like, this is exactly the root of the issue.
How maybe they can go back to their partner to describe what they're feeling or the frustrations. They could maybe articulate what it was, even maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, so this morning you have complaints. The top complaints or concerns, maybe we shouldn't say complaints, that women have towards men and vice versa, because let's be fair, our husbands could probably say a lot about us as well.
Probably.
One is the number one complaint, women waiting for the husband to explain what needs to be done, kind of going in that. Why do you think that is such a big deal? Or so prevalent?
It's so prevalent. That one's hard to say. I don't know about going into so prevalent, but I think that it is, it's a real issue, right? We're talking about the household chores, particularly the indoor chores, childcare, and then the emotional labor that happens in the relationship. And really what she's asking him to do is take active responsibility. Don't wait for me to tell you what needs to happen. You're a part of this too, and I want a partner in the relationship.
What are some of the other kind of top things that women talk to you about and that are issues?
Yeah, for women, I would say second is that they are not feeling validated in their emotional experiences, and often he'll shift into doing that problem-solving thing, and she just really wants him to understand what's going on for her and just be there and let her know that, like, I hear you and I'm here with you. She doesn't need him to problem solve. Gotcha. And then the third one that I hear a lot is on communication. He will tend to want to let issues go, and she'll experience that as sweeping them under the rug, and they'll just bubble back up without a really solid way of resolving and repairing these issues. So it's communication really comes up a lot for women.
Sure, that's for women. Let's talk for men. Top 3 complaints that you hear from men when they're frustrated or feeling something's not working in their marriage.
Yes, very different.
Yes.
So he will often talk about being worried that they are over budget and not saving enough for retirement in particular. That's a very big concern for him. That he would like there to be more intimacy in the relationship.
Not surprising.
No. And then the third one is that I'd say his top complaint would be that she has complaints about him. So I'll often hear some iteration from men that they aren't unhappy in this relationship. They're only unhappy when she's unhappy in the relationship.
Huh. Happy wife, happy life. Is that another take on that saying?
Yeah, I think it's another way to say that.
Okay. So obviously the pandemic really exposed a lot of relationships. It forced us to spend a lot more time together than maybe we were, which could be good for some couples, not as great for others.
Yeah.
Did you see an uptick in people seeking your advice and help?
Yes, we've seen a huge increase in mental health services. across the board, but especially in marriage counseling, which is both good and bad, right? Because there is this number out there that people wait on average 6 years past the point of noticing issues to
6 years
get help.
past.
6 years on average, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's a good thing, right? That we know that this is out there and you can get help, but there has definitely been an uptick. I think a lot of things have been put in people's faces a lot more, right? When you're just around them all the time.
Yep.
I think too, you know, there used to be kind of this stereotype that if you went to marriage counseling, there was something wrong in your marriage or in your relationship.
You were destined for divorce if you were needing therapy.
That it was a
Right.
bad thing and that you guys were not working well together. Has that shifted? It seems like it's shifted. Not necessarily preventative care, that's not the right term, but it seems like more and more couples are doing this maybe to get ahead of that 6-year mark of when things should have been addressed.
Yes, I would say it's been amazing to see the mental health stigma shift. It's slowly shifting, but it's shifting for marriage therapy. People are going, hey, there's this tool out there. Why don't we access it, right? It's the smarter thing to do to get help. And so it's been amazing to see a lot of couples come in before they hit that crisis point. So
And it was interesting talking to you before the break. I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No.
About the specific type of counseling that you do. Do you mind sharing your step in the process?
Yeah, so I specialize in doing what is called discernment counseling. So it's couples who are on the brink of divorce, they're considering divorce, and they don't know what to do. So often people will call and they'll be like, I feel so stuck and I'm not sure what we need right now. And so this is a specific type of counseling where we take a look at what is happening in the relationship and I help the couple make a decision about what to do. So we lay out, essentially you have 3 paths forward. You can keep doing what you're currently doing, you could separate, or you could take separating off the table and work on the relationship for, we like to say, a predetermined amount of time. Agree to doing 3 months, agree to doing 6 months, and then reassess at that point. So what it really does is it lowers the bar, right? I'm not saying decide the rest of your relationship right now. I'm saying give it 3 months or give it 6 months. Can you do that? And often people will know what they want to do, but having those paths laid out and really taking like a bird's eye view of the relationship helps them decide.
And you say on average, majority of people do end up making the correct decision of what you think probably should happen.
Yeah, I would say that if they really deeply in their heart know already, then they'll know that path.
Sure.
And then if they're like, you know what, I can give it 3 months and we haven't tried it all yet, then they'll give it that path.
It's really interesting stuff. Thank you for kind of opening up the book for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Again, that was marriage therapist Corinne Voller, and we appreciate having you here. If you want to follow her on TikTok, by the way, the handle is Corinne the Counselor, or you can visit our website, corinnethecounselor.com.